We're in a religious war here. I am with Israel. Do whatever the hell you have to do to defend yourself. Level the place.
To my Muslims brothers and sisters, they say that you Muslims are subhuman, and you also start to believe it. They say that you are backwards, and you never rejected it. They called you terrorist and enemy of humanity, and you don't question it. When will the Muslims stop being defensive and apologetic? When will the Muslims start to question the narratives and push back against their deceptions? When will the Muslims stop seeking validation from the people in the secular world? When will the Muslims stop trying to fit in? It's obvious they will never accept you, and in their hearts is pure hatred for you. The likes of Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and other deceitful supporters of injustice done by the state of Israel will always try to justify their acts as a fight against evil Muslims that are bent on obliterating the Jews. They only point fingers at Hamas but overlook any wrongdoing by the Israeli government. In return, they will tell you they have right to defend themselves. Well, are the Muslims the enemies of mankind? Is it the Muslims that colonized the third world and still continue to plunder their resources as we speak? Is it the Muslims that started the World War I or the World War II? Is it the Muslims that enabled or perpetrated the Holocaust on the Jew? Even today, the Zionists are using the same word used by Hitler, calling people of Palestine human animals. Is it the Muslims that used nuclear weapons on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Is it the Muslims that carried out the Spanish Inquisition and the Crusades? Is it the Muslims that continues to carpet bomb innocent civilians all through history and call them collateral damage, not sparing journalists or aid workers? Is it the Muslims that funded and created deadly viruses in labs around the world only to cause havoc to humanity? Is it the Muslims that is monopolizing and destroying farmlands so only synthetic food will be produced? Is it Muslims that are pushing the woke agenda that will eventually lead to our destruction as humanity? Is it the Muslims that are sexualizing and molesting your kids at school? Is it the Muslims that ignited the current financial meltdown and energy crisis by blowing up pipelines and using sanctions as leverage? Is it the Muslims that are subjugating millions of people in open prisons in their homeland, and when they resist, cut off food, energy, and medical supplies? Is it the Muslims that killed millions of civilians in a war based on lies and propaganda? Is it the Muslims that wants to put you under constant surveillance and erode your privacy? Is it the Muslims that uses deception and coercion to force medical products on people so as to profit from it? Is it the Muslims that are keeping generations under endless debt through usury and economic exploitation? Is it the Muslims that are causing failed states around the world while attempting to topple legitimate governments and install their puppets? Is it the Muslims that are constantly attacking and destroying the fabrics of family values? Is it the Muslims that killed millions of Africans in sub-Saharan Africa prior to their independence? Is it in the Muslim lands that you will find all the stolen artifacts and treasures from the third world? Is it the Muslims who are erasing other people's history and culture? So ask yourself, why so much hatred towards the Muslim? Muslims, stop falling for their lies and deception. It's time to stand up tall and be proud of who you are. Don't be afraid or ashamed to say you are Muslim. Stand up for your oppressed brothers and sisters until justice is served. Speak out your heart and have no fear. And stop seeking approval from those that despise you and despise everything you stand for. The current event has shown where they truly stand when both non-Muslims and Muslims' blood are spilled. The value one over the other. Together we are stronger, and together our dignity will never be broken. Don't forget, every situation for the Muslim is good. For if good befalls us, we are grateful. And if ills befalls us, we remain steadfast and patient. Continue to support your brothers and sisters in Gaza and all occupied Palestine. And don't forget to continue to support the oppressed people around the world. It's time to stop relying on support from people and to start to focus on seeking our support from our Creator. For it's Allah alone who can liberate the people of Palestine from Israeli oppression.
ومن الناس من يعجبك قوله في الحياة الدنيا ويشهد الله على ما في قلبه وهو ألد الخصام وإذا تولى سعى في الأرض ليفسد فيها ويهلك الحرث والنسل والله لا يحب الفساد وإذا قيل له اتق الله أخذته العزة بالإثم فحسبه جهنم ولبئس المهاد ومن الناس من يشري نفسه ابتغاء مرضات الله والله رؤوف بالعباد يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين فإن زللتم من بعد ما جاءتكم البينات فاعلموا أن الله عزيز حكيم هل ينظرون إلا أن يأتيهم الله في ظلل من الغمام والملائكة وقضي الأمر وإلى الله ترجع الأمور سل بني إسرائيل كم آتيناهم من آية بينة ومن يبدل نعمة الله من بعد ما جاءته فإن الله شديد العقاب زين للذين كفروا الحياة الدنيا ويسخرون من الذين آمنوا والذين اتقوا فوقهم يوم القيامة والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب كان الناس أمة واحدة فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين ومنذرين وأنزل معهم الكتاب بالحق ليحكم بين الناس فيما اختلفوا فيه وما اختلف فيه إلا الذين أوتوه من بعد ما جاءتهم البينات بغيا بينهم فهدى الله الذين آمنوا لما اختلفوا فيه من الحق بإذنه والله يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يأتكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم مستهم البأساء والضراء وزلزلوا حتى يقول الرسول والذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله ألا إن نصر الله قريب